What's going on, YWC? It's your buddy, it's your pal SpazPhoenix, the YWC Reality Check. It's been a while. It has been a while. It's been nearly maybe 2 weeks since I've been up on here, since I've done anything on this channel, or since I've done anything for the Wrestling Paradise channel. Couple things to knock out, actually a lot of things to knock out of the way before we even get to this week's Raw review. First and foremost, why was I gone? Combination of two things. This camera right here decided to be a piece of shit and not want to do anything, not gonna lie. Wasn't recording, did this and that. Actually conked out on me halfway through my my November Q&A, which I'll get to in a second. The other half is, beginning of last week, I felt like shit. No word of a lie. I thought somebody had punched me in the throat and I had tried to swallow about a fistful or so of fish hooks. No voice, coughing up a lung, everything hurt. Wasn't a good scene, wasn't a pleasant guy to be around, and definitely was not the typical, you know, huggable, lovable Spaz that you guys have all come to know me to be. So I took a little hiatus. I mean, did I take a little hiatus because I was going to take next Monday off and give myself a week off anyway? Yes, but I had a lot of other things that I had planned. Sorry guys, my glasses are fucked up too. I had a lot of other things I had planned to do in the week, which was why I had initially given myself the Monday off and not done a Raw review, but it is what it is. Combination of me being sick and this camera being a piece of shit. We took a longer hiatus than we expected. In the meantime, first thing I want to talk about, why things are flashing at me. You know, I try to be an adult when I'm up on here, but ooh, something flashy, something shiny, whatever, we are all kids inside, for sure. While I've been gone, the subs haven't stopped. I'm close to 400 subs because you guys are fucking amazing. So first and foremost, congratulations for that. Not congratulations, I should be saying thank you for that. I could be congratulating myself, but that would be way, way too pompous, and it would be a little too much like other ashholes I could mention here in the YWC. The Q&A is coming. There's 166 questions on this Q&A. It's gonna be a novel when I get a chance to do it. I honestly don't have an hour and a half or however long it's gonna take me to do it. Hopefully, because I did promise you guys it would be up the first week of November, and that did not happen. Hopefully, and this is not a promise, hopefully it will be up sometime this week. That's the best I can do for that at this particular point. But start getting your questions ready. I will be asking in December for the January Q&A. This will be the first Q&A of 2013. This is when we will start talking about the new year. We'll start talking about the Rumble, the road to WrestleMania, etc. Also, quick question from me for you guys. Do you guys want me to do road signs again? Are you guys interested in the road signs series now that I do weekly reviews? Because originally, when I started this channel, I only did pay-per-view reviews, so the roadside series made sense because it was all the different steps leading up to WrestleMania. Now that I do the Raw reviews, some people have said to me, and some people, you know, some people have backed up the series and some haven't, that it might be a little redundant to do the Raw reviews that I do every week and the road signs series. Please let me know in the box below if you will be interested in the road signs series come January. Turning Point was last night. Not going to review the whole show. What I will say is Chavo and Hernandez are still the tag champions, which is kind of awesome. Great outing by Kaz and Daniels. The Aces and Eights storyline. I mean, I don't really talk much about TNA on here because I really like to leave TNA as more just something I watch. Aces and Eights storyline is starting to become a lot of fun again. I love Joe as the TV champ. RVD as the X Division champ is just, he's holding it until somebody else grabs it. Great outing, or great first major outing by Joey Ryan. I love the repulsed reaction he got from Christy Hemme. I thought that was fantastic. And, happy to say, King of the Ladder match is still the man at the top of the mountain in TNA. My boy Jeff Hardy is still the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and haters can still suck it. Moving on. Linda McMahon lost the Senate campaign, so everything's going to go back to normal. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to get the Attitude Era back, and it's going to be fantastic, right? No. Guys, I get it. I get the vindictive side of everybody. Linda McMahon is a big part of some of the problems we have in the WWE product right now. So I get the vindictive reaction of, oh man, she lost again. She cost the WWE, you know, $100 million or some ridiculous amount. And she lost. And it's really, really good and I guess natural for us to all go, yeah, fuck you, bitch, you lost, da-da-da-da-da. Reality, it's not going to change anything. A lot of what's wrong with WWE right now is lazy booking, and WWE is going to continue to be lazy until they have competition again. Why do you think I back TNA so much? I back TNA partially because I'm a TNA fan, but partially I back TNA for the good of the WWE, because WWE needs competition before they will be good again to the level that we really want it to be. Just saying. So, fuck Linda McMahon, and I hope she doesn't run again. I hope she doesn't cost the WWE and Vince McMahon any more money. I hope she doesn't cost anybody else their jobs. You know, bring back AW, hashtag, etc., etc., etc. Did it make me laugh my ass off? Yes. Was it the only thing I paid attention to in the American election news? Yes, because I'm up here in Canada, and honestly, I don't give a shit about politics or the news on the best day, so yeah. Survivor Series card swap, and this is where I chose a really bad week to take a week off, or a bad week to be sick, or a bad week to have my camera conk out, etc. Everybody's in a big fucking angry, pissed off flurry because we had a big swap in the main event at Survivor Series and the booking is horrible and da-da-da-da-da. WWE, here's my 2 cents on it if you want it. You don't have to agree, but here's the thing. I know I put a nice rosy glow on everything that's going on in the WWE right now, more than most people, but hear me out. Initially, the night after Hell in the Cell, we had announced Team Punk versus Team Foley, which would have been fantastic. Nice to see Foley. 2 really, really, really good teams. I mean, you could have taken out Sandow and put in Ziggler, and Team Punk would have been perfect. But I digress. It left, we had a great main event. It would have been the first time in a long time, and we say this about the themed pay-per-views. If the pay-per-view is Survivor Series, the main event should be a Survivor Series match. It made sense. It also made sense that John Cena get involved in a mid-card feud with Dolph Ziggler around the stupid AJ scandal. Now, side note off of that, people hate the AJ scandal. The AJ scandal, people, listen to me, because I know every single one of you is going to get down in that box below and crawl 10 feet up my ass like you've got a pick and a shovel, but listen to me. The AJ scandal needed to happen. The AJ scandal makes it... Are they doing it well? No, it's goofy. It's fun and it's wonderful and it is what it is. But it needs to happen because there's 3 great things coming out of this. Or actually, there's more than 3 great things coming out of this. We got AJ out of the GM's position, which everybody was sick of, including me, and I'm an AJ fan. Now, to that point, we have AJ back in the women's division, which is something I've been asking for a long time. We have Vicky Guerrero in the general manager position. Is that going to get annoying? Absolutely. But what does it do? It pulls Vicky Guerrero away from Dolph Ziggler. Another thing we've been asking for a long time. What else do we have? We have chinks in the John Cena armor, which makes me smile big like this, because John Cena is being made to look like a grade A moron, and that is good. Also, eventually it's going to lead to a mini feud, you know, sort of filler. I'm thinking it's going to be filler between Rumble and Mania for Cena's something to do. A feud with Cena, even though he's going to lose, even though Ziggler is going to lose if Cena and Ziggler feud, and I understand this, but Cena is the golden boy. Even if you lose against the golden boy, the company sees something in you to put you in that position in the first place. So it's a great rub for Ziggler. It pulls Vicky away from Ziggler. It pulls AJ back into the spot that she needs to be. It makes Cena look like an idiot, and it makes Ziggler look like $1 million. So people that are shitting on the AJ scandal can kiss my ass. Oh, yes. Now, what did we do? We did a big switcheroo. Vince McMahon came in, you know, like he didn't know what he was doing, and he switched everything around. So what did we have? Now, instead of Punk, who doesn't really need the rub from Mick Foley, we now have Ziggler in that position. We shuffle Miz onto the other team. We bring in Wade Barrett, who needs something big to help him reestablish himself. It's all good. Now, we have a title match. And it's Punk versus Cena versus Ryback. So all the people that are pissed off about Ryback being in the title picture can keep being pissed off, and everybody else that's going to pull out the hashtag same old shit is going to do that. I haven't changed my opinion on John Cena. John Cena is still killing wrestling in my opinion. I still hold true to that opinion. But whether we like it or not, CM Punk versus John Cena is the feud. And here's the thing. They need to keep John Cena and CM Punk as equal as possible. They need to, as much as possible, keep either one of them from having a loss on their record. How do you do that? You bring Ryback in, make it a triple threat match so that Ryback can eat the pin, so that they can be equal, so that they can have one more match at TLC. And what are they fighting over at TLC? Yes, they are fighting over the WWE Championship, absolutely. But more to the point, more to the pristine point of this, the light at the end of the tunnel, the prize at the end of the race for these guys is which one gets to face The Rock at the Royal Rumble. Which one gets to face The Rock at the Royal Rumble? The plus of the Team Punk versus Team Foley thing would have been it was him entirely avoiding having to defend his title. He would have gone on, he would have become a year-long champion as of Survivor Series. Now, he's going in against Cena. Cena's good to go again. We need to push him back into the main event, because it's what WWE does, which is fine in this case, because this is the feud of 2012. This, in the current era of wrestling, this is, and I hate to say it, this bites me in the stomach because you guys all know how I feel about Cena, but this is this generation's Austin Rock. It really is. I hate to say it. I truly, truly do. But anytime you put Cena and Punk in the same ring together, because of everything that it represents to us as fans, it is fantastic despite John Cena. And for us to get this now, where you know it's going to be a bullshit ending, Ryback's going to eat the pin, and CM Punk's going to go on with his reign, etc. He's going to get on the microphone, he's going to celebrate his 1 year as champion, which is going to be probably an epic pipe bomb of epic proportions. Then we're going to go on to TLC. Something's going to happen. There's going to be a screwjob finish there too. They're going to stay neck and neck. But Punk will be the one with the title. Punk will be the one that Rock focuses on at the Royal Rumble, because as much as I hate to say it, Cena's the one that's going to get to face The Rock at WrestleMania. I wish it was the other way around. I would be willing, as I've said on this channel before, I would be willing to have Punk drop the title to Cena before the end of the year and face Rock at the Royal Rumble if the payday was Rock versus Punk at WrestleMania. I don't think it's going to happen. I will settle for Rock versus Punk at the Royal Rumble. It will be a great way to kick off 2013. It'll be great for everybody involved. Cena, and this would be the perfect time for Cena to go do his thing with Ziggler. Anyways, so that's all I'm going to say about that. And the last thing I'm going to say, and here is, guys, I love you. All of you. I really do. Even those of you out there that hate me. The ones that love me, the ones that hate me, every single person that's got me to almost 400 subs. I have the distinct pleasure, specifically, of talking to and conversing with and debating with, etc., a lot of people from across the pond in the UK. I have a lot of respect for a lot of my fellow YWCers across the pond in the UK. Nutty Rock Chick, Hannah Banana Bob, the guys from the British Fist, Mark R. Pearson, the guy that got me to start doing all these things in the first place. But Jesus Christ, y'all had your heads up your asses last week. Holy shit. And here's what I mean by that. A lot of people shit on Raw. A lot of people don't like what's going on Raw. A lot of people this and that. Oh, Raw is fucking garbage. This is bad enough to make me go to TNA. It's kind of sad that the only time people give TNA any credit is when they're doing it to insult WWE. But anyways, here's the thing. Everybody shit on Raw last week. Everybody shits on Raw every week. Whatever. Everybody will have something to complain about if what they want to do is complain. I get that. That's fine. What I don't get is the, oh my god, how could you bring this over to the UK, you know? And such and such and such. And, you know, it's just this feeling, or the feeling that I got from most people that did reviews last week that are from the UK, and I'm trying to say this as nicely as I possibly can. Do you think you live on a different planet? Do you think you live on this higher stratosphere than the rest of the world? That, you know, you've already, you know, you're trapped in this reality that, okay, Raw sucks every week and we're going to knock it every week, but when it comes to the UK, it should be good. You know, you shit on Raw every week, and, you know, Raw's going to be shit this week, and Raw's going to be shit the next week, and Raw's going to be shit the next week, but when you come to the UK, you better be good. Like, there's a double standard. Like every other Raw is just a Raw, but when we go to another place, it should be pay-per-view quality. Well, what's to keep, you know, fans in Asia from saying the same thing, fans in Africa from saying the same thing? I will not begrudge you your opinion of the show. If you think the show was shit, fine. If you think the show was shit, express your opinion as to why. That is fine. I can debate you, I can converse with you, etc., etc., etc. But don't tell me that the show is supposed to be good just because it's in your town. Don't tell me that just because, oh, they don't come around as often, so they should give you a pay-per-view quality Raw every time you go to Raw. No, you watch Raw every week. You are paying to see Raw. So if you see that Raw is shit, and you don't want to pay to see shit live, then don't pay to see shit live. Flip your TV on, even when it's in your own town, and watch it for free. If I thought Raw was going to be shit, I wouldn't bother buying tickets when it comes to Toronto. But all I'm saying is, and again, I really have to nail it home. If you think the show was shit, that's fine. But saying WWE should be ashamed of themselves for what they bring to the UK specifically, because the UK is on this entirely other plateau and they deserve something better than the rest of the world, I could say the same thing too. I don't remember the last time I went to a WWE show in Toronto. I think it was the Edge Appreciation Night. That was a long while ago. I could get on my high horse and say, hey, you haven't been in Toronto in a while. If you come to Toronto, it better be a pay-per-view quality Raw. It better be Raw 1000 all over again. It better be WrestleMania for free when you come to my fucking town. No, I don't. I look at Raw and I expect to see what I see every week in a seat in an arena. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why everybody needs, you know, sort of a special nod. I mean, friggin', let's take something as simple as the staging. The staging is the same everywhere they go. They have a completely, you know, tribute to the UK-based staging when they're doing shows in the UK. They have this, they have that, they have the next thing. You know, if they come to my town, if they come to Toronto, hey, we're coming to you this week from Toronto, Canada, and then they get on with the show. You know, they focused on all the European guys. You know, they brought back William Regal. They had a lot of focus on Wade Barrett, a lot of focus on Sheamus. I think they had an interview with Layla. I don't exactly remember. But, you know, Antonio Cesaro was even this week talking about how great it was to be in the UK, etc. So you're already being talked up. I don't know why you think you deserve WrestleMania during Monday Night Raw just because of where it happens to be. Raw will be Raw. Raw should always be good. Raw should not be good depending on where it is. That frustrated me a lot. Anyways, I didn't think it was that bad of a Raw either, so punch me in the face, kick me in the ass. Enough of that. Let's talk about this week's Raw. Oh yes, I am excited about Survivor Series. Are you guys excited about Survivor Series? I'm excited about Survivor Series. We open up the show tonight with the announcement that we are going to have Punk versus Cena tonight in the main event. Good times to be sure. We open the show with a match. We have Randy Orton versus the Vicky Guerrero-less Dolph Ziggler. Great match. These guys are a great pair. These guys are always a great pair. These guys work really well with each other. I'm really happy to hear that WWE is considering plans of these two guys for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. That's what I heard. It's just a rumor, just dirt sheets. I'm not stating it as fact. Del Rio tries to distract Orton, but Orton still gets the win. No problem there. He gets I think he got a roll-up, which is kind of lame, but whatever. Alberto Del Rio, Ricardo Rodriguez, and Dolph Ziggler beat down Orton 3-on-1. Kofi Kingston comes down to make the save. You know, embellishing the whole, you know, Team Foley, Team Ziggler thing. Fine, whatever. Orton and Kofi versus Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler is made by Teddy Long, and we continue. Lots and lots of altercation between Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler, which was a lot of fun, made it really fast-paced, etc. Ricardo Rodriguez distracts Kofi Kingston in the corner. Step up Enzuigiri gets the win for Alberto Del Rio, and Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler get the win. Dolph Ziggler stays in the ring. Vicky Guerrero comes to the ring for the next chapter of the AJ scandal. Oh, yes. Dolph says officially for the first time that Vicky is his former manager, which makes me a happy kid. Vicky says, I'm not here to hide behind Vicky, I'm just here for the truth. And he leads to the video replay from last week of all the security footage in the hotel and all the pictures of them having dinner. Makes fun of John Cena for wearing his ring gear to dinner, which was nice. Vicky Guerrero starts into her big spiel about how AJ threatened me, but I didn't suspend her because I'm not a vengeful person. I let her keep her job out of the goodness of my heart, da-da-da-da. AJ comes out. Basically, they bicker back and forth for a while. I'm not going to go through everything they said because I didn't write down everything they said, not going to lie. There's a lot of loud, boisterous, shut up Vicky chants, which was fun. AJ, you're just, the bulk of what AJ said was, you're just mad that I was appointed the GM during Raw 1000 and you weren't, and you're mad that I could physically embarrass you anytime I chose, and you've just, you've got all this power now, and now you're throwing your weight around. And then she starts making fun of Vicky Guerrero's weight, which, if you consider what tomorrow isn't the greatest thing in the world, but yeah. Vicky Guerrero goes to a bunch of recorded voicemails that are apparently from AJ, leaving, lover-type messages to John Cena. AJ obviously insists that they've been altered, re-edited, etc. Dolph starts making fun of AJ and Cena comes down to the ring, stands there and makes angry face, while, I can speak, I swear, he stands there, makes goofy John Cena angry face, while AJ slaps Dolph Ziggler. When she's done slapping Dolph Ziggler, then Cena gets in one punch, and stands there like he's done something. We have William Regal versus The Big Show in a squash match that didn't amount to anything. Layla versus Caitlyn was next for the #1 contendership to the Divas Championship with Eve on commentary. All I can really say is Caitlyn hit a half-decent reverse DDT to win the match, and Caitlyn gets the win. Caitlyn is the #1 contender. Caitlyn will be facing Eve at Survivor Series for the Divas Championship. I love the "We Want Puppies" chants all throughout this match. Well, I mean, wasn't much of a match, wasn't much of a length to the match, but while the match was going on, we had all the "We Want Puppies" chants. I guess that was because, Jerry Lawler was making his comeback tonight. We come back from commercial break, and it's time for Lawler to make his triumphant return. Great and wonderful stuff. Cole and JR are in the ring. They both say their piece about the King and about how miraculous his recovery is, how we're all happy for him. We're happy for him and his recovery, and we're happy that he's back with us so soon, and we didn't think it was going to happen, and whatever. He comes out, gets a great ovation, gives a great thank you speech, compares his situation to the movie It's a Wonderful Life, which would have been an apt analogy if I had ever seen the movie, but nonetheless, it was nice he got to say his piece to the WWE Universe. And then he gets cut off by CM Punk, and I was surprised by this, because, PG direction and all that sort of shit. But holy crap, we went to a really kind of a dark place with Punk's promo tonight. As he's coming down to the ring, Lawler leaves and goes to the commentary desk. The first thing out of Punk's mouth is, "It's a good thing you left when you did, or I'd have to beat you to death again. And don't worry, I love zombies." From there, we go on to CM Punk talking about how disrespectful Jerry the King Lawler is. "Your heart attack was a side effect of you thinking you could actually fight me. Your heart attack was a stunt to try and steal my spotlight." He says he doesn't know why people are talking about how many minutes Jerry Lawler was clinically dead when they could be talking about how many days he's been WWE champion. And I'm not laughing because I thought this was tasteful at all, but it's Punk, and he's so fucking good at being an asshole. He says, I'm going to win the triple threat match on Sunday, and I'm glad you're here to call it. Just don't croak before Sunday. Everything Punk said in this promo was like, wow, that was bad. And there's more. Challenges Lawler to come into the ring again, and while he's challenging Lawler, Heyman fakes a heart attack in the ring, and then he pops up because he's obviously fine. He says, "Come on, Paul, you can't do that to me. I was scared. You gave me a heart attack." And it's like, oh shit. Foley comes down. This is where I stopped really writing down what was said. Tells him to show some respect. Lawler was almost dead. We almost didn't have him here with us, etc. Punk basically says, we're not opponents at Survivor Series anymore. Why the hell should I give a crap what you have to say, more or less? Foley announces the WWE Universe will pick the last member of his team in a Raw active thing, and I'm like, okay, I know where this is going. Punk says, who cares what you think? Who cares what the fans think? Who cares about your team? They are all worthless. You should call your team Worthless. Foley at this point snaps. Just goes right off the end. I have no idea what he said, but he snaps. He verbally tore a strip off CM Punk, and he ends it off by announcing that he's going to be the special enforcer tonight when Punk faces Cena. Good times, to be sure. Then we had some more fun. After that whole uneasy thing with Punk, 4-on-4 match, Rey Mysterio, Sin Cara, Gabriel, and Kid versus Primo, Epico, and the Primetime Players. Fast, fun preview for Survivor Series. The only thing of note, really, that happened in this match was Ricardo came down and gave Rosa a note from Alberto Del Rio. We never found out what was in the note, but we can guess, I'm sure. He's trying to pick her up, and Mamacita, and all that sort of stuff. Gabriel hits the 450 on Darren Young to get the win, and the faces get the win, and everybody goes home happy. Ziggler and The Miz are talking in the back. They're talking about Survivor Series. They're talking about how, Miz is making fun of Ziggler's team and mocks Ziggler for getting slapped by a woman. Foley comes out and says, hey, you pick 2 members of your team. I will put them up against Kane and whoever the last member of my team is. And, Miz standing right there wasn't foreshadowing or anything. Not at all. We come back, and it is... Who was it? It was Rhodes Scholars. Rhodes Scholars are going to take on Kane and whoever the last member of the team is. Your choices are Santino Marella, Zack Ryder, or The Miz. Gee, I wonder how this one is going to go. R-Truth versus Lord Tensai was pointless, other than to give them time to announce that R-Truth is going to face Antonio Cesaro at Survivor Series for the U.S. title. Not particularly excited about a U.S. title match at Survivor Series, other than to say that it's nice that we have at least a few title matches, considering that the Tag Team Championships and the Intercontinental Championship are all sort of absorbed into the Survivor Series elimination match situation. So at least the WWE World, US, and Divas titles are being defended, considering Tag and Intercontinental are not. Loud Albert chants as Lord Tensai does his typical slow, boring, supposedly impressive, power offense. R-Truth kicks it into gear. Drop kick, scissor kick, Little Jimmy gets the win, gives himself a little bit of momentum as if he needs any. Going into Survivor Series, everything is all good. Brad Maddox versus Ryback. Oh, shit. I really thought that somebody was going to come down. I thought that, some other heel or CM Punk or Paul Heyman was going to come down and cost Ryback the match, and we would have Ryback on the or Maddox on the roster as a jobber or something. Didn't happen. Maddox got the shit owned out of him for 10 minutes, got slammed up against an ambulance, got slammed up against a stretcher, got tossed in the ambulance, and Ryback wins an ambulance match that was never really an ambulance match. So, yeah. And if that wasn't enough of a squash, we have Sheamus versus Otunga, and you can all guess where that went. The only thing that made even the slightest bit of anything in that segment was after the match we see Big Show backstage giving the WMD KO punch to William Regal to literally no reaction. Does anybody give a shit about Sheamus versus the Big Show? I'm just saying. Rhodes Scholars versus Kane and his mysterious opponent, or his mystery opponent, whatever. Raw Active announces that by a vote of 60%, The Miz is the last member of Team Foley. Kane and The Miz are the team that's going to face the Rhodes Scholars. Brian comes down and sits near commentary. He's all like playing the jilted lover in the corner that Kane is tag teaming with somebody else. Daniel Bryan is just really a goofy bitch these days. Honestly, I respect what he can do in the ring, but holy crap, his credibility is circling the bowl. It really is. Miz and Kane, on the other hand, make a great team. which is great. We're seeing a lot more aggression out of The Miz, which I like. Cody hit the disaster kick to Miz while Miz was on the apron that sent him out to the outside because of Daniel Bryan's distraction. The match ends when Daniel Bryan tries to attack The Miz. The Miz tosses Daniel Bryan into Cody, tosses Cody into Kane. Kane chokeslams Cody, and Miz and Kane get the win. Daniel Bryan was only useful as a weapon, just saying. CM Punk versus John Cena was what CM Punk versus John Cena usually is. It's epic because of what it represents. At one point, Cena has the STF. Heyman tries to interfere. Foley takes out Heyman. Good for him. GTS is countered into another STF by Cena. Punk escapes. Punk tries to leave. Ryback tosses him back in. Attitude adjustment by Cena, so Cena has some kind of reason to be in the match on Sunday. He picks up the win. Cena and Ryback sort of play tug-of-war with the belt for a while and have a, what I'm assuming was supposed to be a very impressive-looking stare-down with each other while they play tug-of-war with the belt. And Punk looks sad because even though he's the champion, these two other guys are pulling on his belt and he looks like he's on the outside looking in. And that's how we left the show. Score, fail, MVP, Fave 5, the shit list, and all that other fun stuff. Score, if my clipboard can manage to not be fucked up for a couple seconds, that would be amazing. A Vicky-less Dolph Ziggler in a Ziggler-Orton feud. I like it. We've seen these guys go. We know they can go. Finally, Vicky's not in the way. This feud deserves to be... It deserves to have more of a push than it's gotten in the past. It's got to be more than just two guys you throw in the ring together because you know they're great together. But they are, and if they're going to feud over the World Heavyweight title heading into WrestleMania, that will make me a happy kid. Cena keeps getting made to look like a goofball by Vicky. I like it because I don't like Cena. It's pretty simple. Caitlyn versus Eve this Sunday. I like the fact that Caitlyn's finally getting the one-on-one shot she was supposed to have back in December. Or not December, we're not even in December yet. Back in September, there we go. She was supposed to have the shot then. They pulled the plug on that for whatever reason, and now she's getting it again. I hope they don't pull the plug on it again. That would be great. The 8-man tag, well, like I say, it was a lot of fun. Other than the primetime players, you had 6 high flyers in one match, which is always good. They could have made it, a Money in the Bank and whatever, but they didn't. It's a nice way, even though it wasn't a Survivor Series match, it was a nice way to preview how hectic the Survivor Series match will be. Also, I'm willing to bet that with all these tag teams with nothing to do with Survivor Series, we could see a rematch of this match as a bonus match at Survivor Series. It's possible, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying if it does happen, it wouldn't hurt my feelings whatsoever. We started the show this week with a match. We started the show. The show opened up tonight with Ziggler versus Orton. It's such a change, and it's so refreshing than starting off with a 20-minute monologue or a 20-minute promo back-and-forth spot. It changes things up. It gets your attention, and it gets you more involved in the show from minute one. I like it when they do that, and it's good. Foley and Punk on the mic against each other is fantastic. We know this. It's happened before. Miz on Team Foley, and Miz's potential face turn coming out of being on Team Foley. He genuinely... When you saw him in the match tonight, he genuinely was soaking up the crowd, loving him. Because I think those of us that are Miz fans are waiting for the rest of the crowd to catch up and embrace the Miz like we already have. And they did tonight. Like, all they needed to know was that he was on a good guy team, and they were completely on the Miz bandwagon. If they're going to go this direction with him, I think it could do great, great things for the Miz. Get him back up in the title picture, maybe. Just saying. Fail. I don't like WWE's opening video package with the voiceover announcer guy thing. A, they stole it from TNA. B, I don't even like it when TNA does it. C, it just sounds lame. Another fail. You guys know I'm very, very opinionated when it comes to the music WWE uses, especially for pay-per-views, especially for Big Four pay-per-views. Why, when we've got all these sort of grudge feuds going on in the WWE right now, do we have some poppy, shitty dance, trance, crap music as the Survivor Series theme? Just saying. Big Show versus Regal. I have a lot of respect for Regal and what he's done in the past and the knowledge he has to pass on to the future stars and whatever, but did anybody care that Regal got the shit owned out of him twice by the Big Show. Does anybody care about the match that those things were supposed to hype up? No. So why? Let him stay on NXT, be the great announcer that he is, rather than, you know, bringing him up to Raw to be a rag doll. Other than the fact that they were in the UK last week, just saying, I don't even think William Regal would have made it on television. I still don't like the stupid, goofy side conversations that John Cena has with the cameraman when he's going down to the ring for a match. It's like nails on a chalkboard. It's like poking an angry animal with a stick. It bothers me. And a babyface, the supposedly top babyface of your company, shouldn't be annoying me that much. Just saying. Speaking of which, let's check out the shit list. Doesn't really ruin my day completely, but Cena got a win tonight, which, meh. Sheamus got a win tonight in a bullshit squash against friggin' David Otunga. Santino got voted off Team Foley, which made me laugh. Clay wasn't even on the show, which is even better. Big Show got a win over William Regal, which was meh. Punk loses, but he lost because, you know, he's going up against now, in this match tonight, he was up against Cena with Ryback and Foley to contend with on the outside. So it's not as much of a biting loss as it would be if it was a straight one-on-one match. That's my logic for that one. Orton won his singles match against Dolph Ziggler. Rhodes lost the tag team match, but he lost it to a team that had The Miz on it, which means Miz got a win. So, you know, my Fave 5 took a loss so that we could get a win. It's good like that. Ziggler, even though losing to Orton in a singles match, was on the winning team of the tag team match that was to follow. MVP tonight. There's going to be a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, that are not happy, that are going to be completely up in arms about how distasteful CM Punk's promo was tonight. CM Punk's promo tonight was distasteful. It was, you know, incredibly insensitive. It was offensive. Any other thing you can possibly imagine. When me and Preston and John did the video a while ago after AEW got fired and said, hey, these are all the things WWE has done that were more potentially offensive than what AEW said, this tonight could have made it on the list. But, punch me in the face, kick me in the ass, it was also done fucking fantastically. The addition of Foley at the end made it even better. Punk sold all the heat he needs for this Sunday against two guys that he's not even facing. He built all the heat on himself that he needs for his title match on Sunday, and it had nothing to do with either of the competitors that he's going to be in the ring with on Sunday. It's disconnected, and I will give anybody that wants to throw that argument at me, but it's also fucking amazing. And it's yet another big notch on the belt of anybody that's trying to, I guess, tout the verbal skills of CM Punk. Like me. That's it, guys. Like I say, Q&A should be up sometime this week, I hope. Get your questions ready for the new year. Thank you to everybody that asked how I was doing, or where I was, or what was going on, or why I wasn't around. To the ones that knew I was sick and were asking me how I was feeling, I'm doing a lot better. Thank you for that. To all of you that have built me to almost 400 subs, thank you so much. I've taken up way more time than a Raw review should. Coming up on 40 minutes now, that's a lot. If you've made it this far, if you've stayed with me till this point, it's late. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I raise my drink to you, if you are still with me at this point, but I am going to cap it off. That's it. That's all. Review's over. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all of these conversations going. Don't be a stranger, and I will talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, I am tagging out. Bye, guys.